Let's do more trash journal stuff today. What do you say? I think last time I mentioned that I thought I had some trash journals somewhere, and I did. I did not dream it. I have, these are the 3 I was able to find. And these 2 I made during some of the classes that I taught last year. So they really don't have anything going on in them other than just the construction of, you know, the bones, the pages. So I was just talking to my students about the different kinds of things that you can save to put into your trash journal, and then how to bind the journal together, you know, especially when you have pages of different sizes. Showed them how to do that. So that was just kind of the whole purpose of these. Got that one from some Lucky Charms, and this one from some Screamin' Sicilian Pizzas. Y'all, how can you not love that, right? You just need the perfect thing to go in there and it'll be awesome. So these, peeled most of the cardboard packaging so that the pages would be a little thinner. I demonstrated how to do that in the class. And so, yeah, that's just what that's all about. And then I have this one that I made a while back, and I know there's videos out there that I made, I think. Or maybe I just flipped through it or something. I don't know. Anyway, here's this one. This was a pizza box cover. And in this one, it's kind of a combination of junk, like junk mail and those kind of scraps. It's trash, like our product labels and packaging. But it's also some magazine cutouts. So there's some collage stuff going on in here, and I really like that. I may do that with these ones that I'm working on now too. Haven't decided yet. So yeah, this has got just a little bit of everything, and it's just super junky and delightful. And I was flipping through it earlier, and I was thinking, oh, this is fun. Like, I'm having fun just flipping through it and, you know, seeing what I did, because I'm old and I don't remember. So it's like all new to me. And I guess I had just forgotten how fun this is. So this made me really excited about this new one that I'm starting, that I still really haven't nailed down exactly what it's going to be, what it's going to look like. I've just decided that I'm just going to start putting elements together and then see where it goes. Just let it kind of figure out on its own what it wants to be. So yeah, that's what this one is. And I just slipped this around it because I think it was laying on my desk at the time. So there we go. So for this new one, I think I mentioned that I might build it in one of my custom keepers. This is the composition notebook size. And yes, that is what I decided to do. So in here, I had some leftover boxes that they were already cut down to this size because this is what I'd used in my classes. So I thought, okay, I'll just go ahead and do that. I had this, and I had some of these big envelopes. So I just made me I have 4 strings in my cover. So I just made 4 signatures. Now I don't know that these are going to be 4 signatures in one journal, or if they will end up being 4 separate journals. I don't know if I will combine them. They could be 2 signatures. They could be 2 separate journals. They could be 3 and what? They're just the combinations. There's just so many. My point is, I'm not locked into anything right now because I can, you know, take everything I can pull out. It's just held in with elastic. I can rearrange. I can reconfigure. I can change my mind, and that was what I wanted. So I'm loving this. And on a couple of them, I have started decorating and, you know, putting different packaging and stuff in it. Now some of this is my trash, some is trash. I had a couple of people that sent me a lot of their trash to use in my classes last year, and we used a lot of it. And just in case you're wondering, yes, someone else's trash is way cooler than your own. The myth is true. So, yeah, some of this is mine, some of this is not. But it was all just kind of, okay, it kind of fit. It was interesting. That's, you know, where I wanted it to go. So I used it. I'm just using what I have. Plus, you know, we all accumulate trash on a daily basis. So this is where I'm at. Like I said, I really don't know where I'm going, but I'm just doing stuff. And there are a couple of decisions I've made along the way. One is shiny plastic like this, like a potato chip bag. Okay, those are almost impossible to glue, I'll just tell you. You can glue them down and they're like kind of stuck, but you do this and they're super easy to peel up, and if you're okay with that, that's fine. You can glue them down so they're super stuck, but you got to have some super glue, not like super glue, but just some super sticky glue. And I found that I could do it with this, I can't read it, super tight liquid silicone glue. I don't know where I got this, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it at either Walmart or Joann's, because it was somewhere that I was at recently. I'll try to look that up and see. I'm not recommending that you run out and buy this so that you can use it on the plastic, because I decided not to. It was just too messy, it was too iffy, and you have to use it in almost like a contact cement type way, you know, where you put it down, you peel it up, you let it get tacky, you put it down again. But even doing that, I had trouble with this shiny plastic stuff. So I ended up having to use heat, which you cannot use heat on these plastic bags because they will melt, like almost instantly they will melt. So I had to heat from the back side, and that was a pain. So I just said forget it from now on. And you can see I just ran this in my machine and I sewed it. So that's what I'm going to do for any of my, if I want to glue down something from a chip bag, you know, with that kind of cellophane-ish plastic. So I made that decision. Am I going to stick to it? I don't know. We'll just see. But that's where I am with that. I am liking these security envelopes. These were just kind of a larger size business envelope, and this one I glued down because I did decide that I didn't want any naked cardboard showing. I want to cover it. I've got enough stuff, I can cover it. So I've just glued the security envelope down. I put a little, this was a postcard advertisement, I put that in the window, and I don't know that I did much in this last one. No, I just put some random stuff in there. So that's kind of where I'm feeling like, you know, I've got a little bit of direction, even though I still don't know what the end project is going to be. And that's fine. I'm just going to work on different elements, you know, making pages, decorating pages, sticking stuff to them, figuring out what needs to be a page. And yeah, I'm just going to do that. And then I also put together, since I had one, this is the largest custom keeper that I made. It's like an A4 size, and it can hold, I use it a lot of the time for magazines. It will hold file folders like I've got in here. It will hold like school folders, you know, school folders with the pockets and the brads. Yeah, it's that size. And I would have put the school folders in here if I'd had any, but I didn't have any, and I'm not going to go out and buy any because, you know, I just don't buy hardly anything anymore. I want to use what I had. So I had these file folders, and I did my usual thing that I've showed before. I just took 2 sheet protectors. Let me show you. Okay, 2 sheet protectors, and then I overlapped this and this, you know, kind of overlapped them, and then used my sewing machine to just stitch down the middle. So I stitched 2 of them in at once, just like this. And sheet protectors open on the ends, so I had to sew up the open end and then cut this one so that they work like this. I didn't want them like this. I wanted it like this. So that's what I did. And then I just went through some of my collected trash and I put it in here. This was a Chinese food menu. This was not mine. Someone had sent this with junk mail that they sent me. And so I've already used half of it. And y'all, look. Jason likes the Junk Brands headbands when he goes hiking because, you know, they keep the sweat off of you. And he's got several, but I only found half the packaging for this one and then the full packaging for this one. Great packaging, and it says junk. I mean, how awesome would that be, like to put on the cover or as a kind of predominant little tab on there because it says junk and this is all junk. How fun! Now, I'm not saying that you should run out and buy yourself a Junk Brand headband, but, you know, if you're in need of a headband, then I would definitely look into it if you want this packaging. I'll provide a link. And by the way, these are made here locally. You can buy them on Amazon and in stores, but they are manufactured here in Northwest Arkansas. So they're made in the USA. And I wore one the other day when we went hiking, and I can tell you that they do work. I didn't have any sweat dripping down my brow. Okay, down my back and down my front, yes, very, very much, but not on my brow. So yeah, I'm excited about that little piece of trash. And this, I normally don't pull dimensional things off of packages because they just tend to really bulk up your journal. But this was off of a package of, you know, those makeup remover cloth things. And it's relatively flat. I mean, it's really not that big, so that could be a fun little, you know, woohoo! I don't know. So I saved that, and then the rest is just mostly food and stuff. And maybe kind of divided up. That kind of sort of makes sense, but not really. But this way, I've got this little collection here, and anytime I run across something in my big box down here that I want to use, I'll pull it out and put it here so that I don't have to search for it again down there. And these are just, this all has stickers, it's sticky backed, so I just put a piece of parchment paper in here to hold that. And that's what I've got. So that's what I'm using this big one for. If y'all want some of these big custom keepers like this, let me know in the comments. And if enough of you really want them, I'll make some for us. And I have a lot more of this same pink and blue vinyl. So I'll do it. Keep in mind, they're not, like this one is $30-something. You know, you got to be willing to pay the $30-something because it's kind of a process to make one this big. But it's got a nice kind of a gradient color thing going on. So yeah, if you want these, let me know. I'll make some up so that we can kind of go on this journey together. Okay? Okay, so now let's see. Oh, yes, glues. I was going to tell you, we talked a little bit about, you know, gluing down the plastics, and I'm talking about, I just saw some, you know, things like this was a bag of rice, this was some potato chip or some tortilla chips, and it's this kind of plastic that is super hard to glue down. You can tape it, and your tape is going to stick to it, you know, about like the glue, but at least you get the tape onto, you know, whatever background, so that's going to stick good, and it would hold, to me, I would trust tape better than glue. Staples, perfect. I have, in one of the other journals, I had just stapled it on there, and that's perfect. Or you can sew it. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can slow stitch it. You know, that's a thing now. So slow stitch around it or whatever it takes. Or just use it as an inclusion, put it in a pocket or something like that. So I wanted to talk about that. And then the glues that I'm using, I started out thinking, well, I would just glue stick it down. Okay, that lasted for like maybe one page. And then I'd used up an entire glue stick and said, oh no, we're not going to do that. I I can't afford to keep buying more and more glue sticks. But I did have these bottles of, I've got this Art Institute glitter glue. I think everybody kind of uses it nowadays, which is nice because it's super sticky and it dries really fast. So this is a good one to use. And then I have also been using, this one's new to me. I bought it several months ago, but I just haven't used it a lot. And it's called Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. And that's barely like bear. See the bear? Yeah. And to me, this is kind of like a cross between the Art Institute glue and then maybe a tacky glue. It's not quite as thick as tacky glue, and it's not quite as tacky as Art Institute glue. It's kind of just a happy medium between the two, and I'm liking it. I think I trust it more than Elmer's. It's thicker than Elmer's, so it's a little bit easier to manage. There's not so much squishing out, but it's not quite as, you know, this one, you start putting the glue on, and by the time you get down to the end of your piece, this part's already dry. So this doesn't dry as fast as this one, so you don't have that issue. So yeah, those are what I'm using. I would recommend you use what you got. You got Mod Podge, use Mod Podge. These, I just had the little applicators for them because they came with these, and so it was just easier to manage than trying to brush on Mod Podge. It was just neater, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that was the glue. And then I also wanted to talk about the purpose. If you're looking at this and you're thinking, why on earth would I want to make a journal out of my trash? This is ridiculous. If that's you, then don't do it. You know, no big deal. If this just looks totally ridiculous to you, then it's not your thing. Here's where I come at it from. If I came across one of these, like at an estate sale or something, and let's say maybe it was from the 1940s or 50s, you know, I would totally buy it. I would be completely fascinated with like the brands that they had then that we still have now and how the packaging has changed. And it would be so cool to see brands and products that don't even exist anymore. I think that would be a treasure for me. That would be so cool. So that's what I'm thinking, is that someday this may fall in the hands of someone years from now. Ideally, it would be my grandchildren. Knowing my daughter, when I pass, she would take one look at this and go, "What the heck, Mom?" and you know, get rid of it. But whatever. Whose ever hands it ends up in, hopefully they will just think it's as fun and interesting as I would if I came across one years from now. And people in other countries too. I mean, if this happened to go somewhere internationally, I think it would be cool to see different products from different countries in different times. So that's kind of my thing. And also, it's just a good junk journal, even if you make pretty little embellishments to put in it, or a background pages for your glue books, or your like paper doll, your collage journal. That's what I'm trying to say, because this would be so fun to put like a paper doll thing on there. So you can use your trash to make a journal, and it doesn't have to be just for the sake of a trash journal like I'm doing. You can use it for whatever purposes you like to use journals for. This is just another way to make and decorate one using stuff that you have on hand, which, I really, really like to do that. So, all the talking out of the way. I know I'm going to get comments that are like, "Oh my God, 20 minutes in and you were still talking." Well, yes, I am. I had a lot to say. Okay, now I'm too tired to actually do anything. Okay, so maybe we'll do something in the next video. But this might be good though. This will give you a time to start collecting your stuff. Let me know if you want me to make up some custom keepers for us. And yeah, and then maybe in the next video we'll actually glue things down. I mean, y'all, all it is just, gluing stuff down. But the feedback I got from the last time I did this, or the last video, whatever it was, is that you liked hearing my thought processes. So that's what you're getting today, is my thought processes. Do with them what you will. I do want to say that I have been heavily inspired by several YouTube channels, and I am going to, down in the video description, I will give you links to all of these channels, and if there is a specific video or playlist that they have that I feel like might be helpful for you, then I will include that as well. And I encourage you all to go visit all of these channels and check out what they do with their trash. Okay, so B. Laster is Brenda, and okay, Brenda, if you happen to watch this, I have to tell you that you made me go out and buy a box of grape nuts. I have not actually seen a box of grape nuts since probably I was a child, and I really wasn't quite sure that they still made them until I saw your video. And I'm going to try to find that specific video of Brenda's and link to it, because she has a really cute story about why she eats grape nuts. And then she was using the packaging in her own trash journal, which is her trash talk. And she uploads regularly every week, and I love what she does because she collects her trash throughout the week, and then at the end of the week she does a spread or a page in her journal and kind of documents her weekly trash, what she used, and it's kind of a keepsake thing for her. You know, she's doing this with the actual intention of it being passed down or living on, so that someone else can go back and look at all the coolness of, like, just what went on in an everyday life of Brenda in a really visual way. I love that. I don't know that I'm disciplined enough to do that, but her video is actually what made me, or her playlist of videos really made me go, okay, I'm going to do this trashy thing. I really got to do this, and I really got to buy grape nuts. And I'm eating them with my yogurt that I buy and eat obsessively, and I sprinkle it on top, and then I put some fruit in it, and I have that like every day. And yeah, so I'm actually getting use out of the packaging that I bought. So you will want to visit Brenda B. Laster, Blaster, get it? I love that. Helen H. over at Moss Cottage, she does beautiful trash. And she works with trash, but she makes it look classy. And you know who else does? That is Cat Hand. My friend Cat can take her vegetable cans and just make them look like the most sophisticated piece of art you've ever seen. I don't know how she does that. I was not born with that gene. Cat Hand has that gene. She has a specific video that you will need to watch. Okay, so Helen at Moss Cottage, Cat Hand, Liz Huey. Liz Huey does some awesome stuff, and she does some trashy goodness too, as well as Allison with AJ's Inspired Life. And her trash journals are just junk journals that have trash in them. They're just kind of a, you know, she to me is a classic journal for no reason. She uses whatever makes her happy. So I will link to her, as well as Lynn at A Bit of Birdsong, who does some trashy stuff and just some really cool, beautiful stuff. And Possum Patty. Possum Patty, that girl plays with some trash. She has Trash Tuesday videos, and I think she has a playlist of her junk journals that she calls like true junk journals, because they're super junky and fabulous. So go visit Possum Patty and check my video description for a link to all of those channels and whatever videos or playlists that I find that from them that I think you might enjoy. And then gather up your trash, your packaging, your junk mail. If you want to make it a collage journal or a glue book, get your magazine cuttings out and pull some things to get ready to play. And then hopefully I'll have it together enough that we can actually do something next week instead of talking about doing something. You know, that's just, it is what it is, whatever. So that's all, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in. The end.